Yes, sir.
It's a budget speech with no details.
All right.
Where are we going to get the 30 billion for health, for education?
Very well balanced.
Yes, sir.
It was the first time that we have a finance minister challenge the ministers responsible, directly challenging the cabinet ministers.
I think we're also pleased to see efforts that are being made to improve some of the conditions that are important for restoring business confidence, in particular the Infrastructure Investment Fund and also other measures.
But he's really focused on very critical issues. Number one is to ensure that we stop the bleeding that is occasioned by state capture. 100 billion that is being siphoned off annually. If we stopped only that bleeding, I think is the second step. Number two, he spoke very eloquently and rightfully so on the inordinate debt that South Africa currently has. It is now approaching 60% debt to GDP ratio, and there is questions as to our abilities and capabilities in servicing that debt.
There are limited tax changes in this, but the good news is that the VAT refunds, our credit book has been reduced now to less than 24 million as I'm standing here this afternoon, where it peaked at 41 billion.
The only thing I didn't understand is that there's no clarity on the funding of the other state-owned entities, which we all know that they're also in a state of desperation in terms of funding.
The message we take is that SOCs must transform themselves to be self-sustainable businesses. So overall, good budget under difficult circumstances.
Overall, I would say it's kind of an underwhelming budget, but very pleasant, no big surprises for anybody. Some pleasing parts are the focus on job creation, which is good for the economy, and also taking government out of the employment job.
I like the questions that he was asking, where he says there are no holy cows. Everything needs to be reviewed, and we need to ask the questions. Why do we have state-owned entities? Are state-owned entities running efficiently? And so from what I'm getting, he hasn't concluded what the answer should be, but he says we must ask the questions.
We had to divert some funds to state-owned institutions, including Eskom, but those are now linked directly to restructuring. And what we expect government to now do is make public in detail the recommendations of the Presidential Task Group on SOEs, make detail how we're going to restructure Eskom and the detail of breaking it up, and show us transparently that the funds are going directly into implementing them and not into the existing